Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be doing another first listen to a band from the classic era, 60s, 70s. Um, and today it's Creedence Clearwater Revival. Well, that's not the most catchy band name that I've come across. I'm curious how it came about. Anyway, the song is Fortunate Son. Let's see what I have to read about it. Creedence Clearwater Revival was an American rock band formed in El Cerrito, California. You know what? My family's from California. A generation ago. I don't know if I should say El Cerrito or El Cerrito. Isn't that terrible? The band's most prolific and successful period between 1969 and 1971 produced 14 consecutive top 10 singles, many of which were double A-sides, and 5 consecutive top 10 albums in the United States, 2 of which, Green River from 69, Cosmo's Factory from 70, topped the Billboard 200. The band performed at the 1969 Woodstock Festival in upstate New York and was the first major act signed to appear there. CCR's music remains popular and is a staple of US classic rock radio airplay. 45 million CCR records have been sold in the US alone. The compilation album Chronicle, the 20 Greatest Hits, originally released in '76, is still on the Billboard 200 and reached the 600-week mark in August 2022. Wow! It has been certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America for at least 12 million copies sold in the US. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. Fortunate Son was released on the band's 4th studio album, Willie and the Poor Boys, in October 1969. It soon became a Vietnam anti-war movement anthem and an expressive symbol of the counterculture's opposition to U.S. military involvement in the Vietnam War and solidarity with the soldiers fighting it.
Another Forrest Gump song.
Okay. Was it on the Forrest Gump movie? Well, I didn't really recognize the last one. I guess that kind of tells how long ago I watched Forrest Gump. The song has been featured extensively in pop culture depictions of the Vietnam War and the anti-war movement. The song reached number 14 on the United States charts on November 22, 1969, and it won the RIAA Gold Disc Award in December 1970. Pitchfork Media placed it at number 17 on its list of the 200 greatest songs of the 1960s. Rolling Stone placed it at number 99 on its 500 greatest songs of all time list in 2004 and 2010. In 2013, the song was added to the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Well, here's another Library of Congress song. Let's see how it sounds. So this opening guitar, bum beam, bum beam, bum beam. I feel like I've heard it on some other song. Like it's shown up in maybe a Beatles song or something. I don't know, but I feel like somewhere along this journey I've listened to something that did something incredibly similar. Well, either it was a very popular riff at some point, or maybe somebody copied another, or great minds think alike.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays Hail to the Chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you. Now, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
Okay, I like what just happened. I mentioned the opening guitar. Dee dee, dee dee. Now here, it's the same thing, but just modified so that both notes are being plucked together rather than separately. And so we hear it as the same and yet different. And it gives us a kind of a new way of hearing that. Okay, and while I'm commenting on this, why don't I just turn on the music teacher for a minute? The first one, dee dee, dee dee. Okay, when it's one note after the other, those are called melodic intervals because it's the distance, we're measuring distances between notes, but it's the distance one to another in a melodic way, like a melody, note to note, traveling. The second one, where they're plucked at the same time, simultaneously, bring, bring, those are called harmonic intervals because it's the distance measured between notes that are stacked and harmonizing with each other. Just a little technical term. If you ever end up taking a theory test or discussing music theory with some expert in the field, you might wish to know those, otherwise it's kind of irrelevant. But anyway, fun little fact of the day. Harmonic intervals. Okay, for a sort of anti-war song, that's a kind of a unique way of presenting the idea. It's really effective. At the same time, it's quite, well, the thing I love about it, some of these anti-war movements have been really quite militant in a way. But this song is very non-combative, non-confrontational in stating the anti-war stance. Instead, it says, some folks are born to do this, but it ain't me. In other words, it's not saying, I think you're all wrong. I think, this needs to stop. Let's start a big movement, whatever, whatever. It's just saying, okay, some people do this. They're born that way. They end up being raised that way. It's their life, but that's not me. Some folks are born with a silver spoon in their hand. Okay, they're wealthy, they're fortunate, it's how they ended up in this world, but that's not me. I'm not a millionaire's son. I don't have that money. I don't have that influence. I don't have that life. Some folks inherit star-spangled eyes. What a great line. Some folks inherit star-spangled eyes. They send you down to war. And when you ask them, how much should we give? They only answer, more, more, more. It ain't me. It ain't me. I'm no military son. I don't belong there. That's not my life. That's not me. That's all it says. And yet it says so much more. And I think it's great. Well, it has this kind of chugging along feeling. it's not really an anthem. It's more motion. It's movement. It's chug 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 chug. We're going along. There's the rhythmic forward motion. There's that little guitar riff, both harmonic and melodic. Vice versa. Melodic first, then harmonic. It's kind of catchy. It has a ring to it. It's the sort of song that would stick in your ears and in your mind and in your memory and kind of keep turning over in your head. And although the music is catchy, I feel like it's mostly about the lyrics. I feel like it really... These lines, when the band plays Hail to the Chief, oh, they point the cannon at you. It ain't me. The contrast and setting it up as, okay, I'm the lowly, I'm the ordinary, I'm the one who is neither privileged nor ambitious, nor I have no reason, no desire, nothing to motivate me to go out and kill and fight somebody else's battles. That's not for me. It's a sort of a song of understatement, because although it's saying it ain't me, the way it's presenting the other side, the privileged, the fortunate, the wealthy side, you really feel like I'm really grateful it ain't me. I'm committed to it not being me. I've chosen for it not to be me. I am intentionally staying away from that worldview, that lifestyle, that perspective, that privilege. I don't want that kind of privilege. That's kind of what I feel in here. And as I said, it's an anti-war song that is very anti-war, non-confrontational, non-combative in its own presentation of the message. And that's what appeals to me about it, because it's like it's staying true to the spirit of anti-war in everything. And I like it. It's nice. And the voice, of course, the delivery vocally of this also contributes so much to the feel of the piece. It was just another song I listened to very recently where I said it reminded me of Bob Dylan. This one reminds me of Bob Dylan in a different way. The delivery is kind of in the Bob Dylan declamatory, or was it Bob Dylan? Who was it that sang about the fighter?
The Hurricane?
The Hurricane.
That's
Bob Dylan. Okay. Right. Bob Dylan's The Hurricane. I remember listening to that for the first time and listening to how Bob Dylan sang and his way of delivering the musical lines. And if I can say this in a way that doesn't sound bad, because I don't mean it in any negative way, but I would say it was a very unmusical delivery, non-musical delivery, meaning it's more about proclaiming and using the voice, the music to carry the story and less and not about the music itself. It's kind of like that here, only maybe not so extreme. But I hear hints of that same sort of I'm just telling you about myself, and it's a very everyman's, common working man's voice sound. It's not polished. As even the sort of gravelly quality of it doesn't sound like it's intended, although of course it is intended. But it has a way of feeling very natural and ordinary and And like you're just listening to somebody off the street saying, it ain't me, it ain't me. I mean, some people are born this way, some people have that, but it ain't me. And the ability for a singer to convey such an ordinary, natural quality to the music. It doesn't feel put on. It doesn't feel acted out. It doesn't feel dramatized. It doesn't feel artificial in any way. It feels very much like it's the person you're meeting on the street who's singing this to you, whatever. And it's that quality of genuineness which I love about it. Well, this seems to be a theme that is recurring in many of these first listens I'm doing recently. So we must be in the era of genuine vocal quality, genuine voices, genuine musical expressions. That seems to be a common thread running through a lot of these first listens lately. Here's another one. Genuine. It feels real. I've used the word sincere on some of these recent ones. I'm not saying this is insincere, but I feel like a better word for it here is real. It feels real. And that would be the word I would choose to sum up the entire performance, the entire song listening experience. It feels real. And, well, for such a non-flashy, non-catchy name, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I feel like that came from some church sign somewhere, you know, some backwoods Creedence Clearwater Church Revival Summer or something. It's a rock band. And I have just listened for the first time to Fortunate Son. A good listening experience. I'm looking forward to what comes next, so I'll see you soon.